Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's not morning. It's evening. Yes, it is evening on an eventful day today. It's really been a pretty hectic day, and I didn't even think about it to be to be honest. I didn't really think about it, but my wife was on the 20th floor when the earthquake hit, and she was in bad shape. She said that building was rocking and swaying and shaking, and I haven't managed to get any footage of it, but I saw some footage of the SkyTrain. I think it was on Sukhumvit, and man, that train was just shaking. I mean, so bad. I would not. I mean, it was like going over, like to where I thought, oh, if it goes over anymore, it's going to go off the rack, off of the rail. It was really pretty bad. So I didn't think at first this was that strong. What I saw first was it was a 4.7. And then I saw, a half hour later, 15 minutes later, that it was a 7.7. And I was like, oh, now that's a bit different. And I thought, when the Northridge quake hit, it seemed a lot stronger. So I looked up Northridge and it was like 6.8. And I went, well, wait a minute. In Northridge, it was a lot stronger, but I was a lot closer to where it hit. This is 12, 1,300 kilometers away from where it hit in Myanmar. So it had to have been pretty strong. Apparently, this is the strongest earthquake ever in Thailand. Just ahead of, there's another one that was 7.6 and 7.2. It was just ahead of that. And this one was just a little bit stronger. But let me tell you, man, I'm all right. I mean, I just kind of was freaked out for about 2 minutes because I've been through earthquakes before, and I'm like, yeah, all right, we're gonna be okay. But my wife, the thing is my kids tried to call me. They're like, call me, and they tried to call me, and it's like it didn't go through. So I tried calling them. Every time I called, it disconnected. So I'm like, nothing I can do. But we could text. So I wrote them, you guys are okay. It's not shaking anymore, right? Just stay where you are. Don't do anything. I'll be home, directly. My wife is sending messages. She's trying to get a hold of me. She's calling and calling and calling, it's 4 or 5 phone calls, one after another. I'm trying to call her and we can't get through. So I was a little bit worried. And then when she finally got through to me, the connection wasn't very good. And but I did manage to hear her say I was on the 20th floor in my building and I had to run down the stairs to get out of the building. That's pretty freaky. So she's been a bit freaked out today. She's like, I can't believe it. I'm like, just relax. You're all right. You know, these things don't happen all that often. So, yeah, we're safe. We're all right. Um, however, and I'm going to go over some of the things that happened here because I have quite a bit of information, and none of it is really good. Okay. Now, where is originally the building near Chatuchak Market, that building was under construction. And apparently there was, I think, 120 people. Well, no, no, no. There was 200 people that were working there. And originally it was 43 people were feared trapped under the rubble. And I got some pictures and you could see the people sticking out of the rubble. They were dead. Now, apparently it's not 43, it's 90 people are trapped in the rubble. This is in Bangkok. We're not even talking about Myanmar, where, there's been a lot more death. And I don't think that they're releasing a lot of information yet. But all these people are still trapped. And apparently there's something like 3 people confirmed dead. And the rest are they're still looking for them. Okay. At least 90 people are missing, with 3 confirmed fatalities, and rescue operations are ongoing. The earthquake caused buildings to sway across Bangkok, leading to evacuations, transportation shutdowns, and widespread panic among residents. Now, I would have been freaked out if I was on the SkyTrain or I was in the subway, because you're in the subway and you're underground. So who knows what's going to happen there, right? But when you're up on that, let's say that you're traveling and the earthquake hits and you're on that rail and you've got a ways to go before you get to the next station, that has to be scary, because if the train was swaying as much as what I saw, it was at the station and it was swaying. And I don't mean it was like this much, a little bit this way. It was like all the way over and then coming all the way back, and it was violent. It was not pleasant. All right, let me see if I can find that real quick. I wouldn't have wanted to be in that. Okay. Picture of incident. Let's see. BTS pink line shaking. Yeah, okay. This is the one, I think. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at it here, and then I'll give you guys the link. Terrible. Well, this is not the one that I saw, but it is similar, and it is rocking back and forth. This is on Instagram, so I'm going to give you an Instagram link. Yeah, this one wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough. So let me give you this link real quick. There you go. That is of the pink line. And let's see if I can find any more. Evacuate SkyTrain offices as Myanmar quake rocks. I'm surprised that the SkyTrain did not go down. Astonishing moment, bike thing. Okay, so they're calling this a skyscraper. What they were working on was 30 floors high, and it was not completed. So they hadn't set it up to where if there was an earthquake, it could have held out. Like, my wife was in a building, and I think it was a brand new building. That building is set up to sway, not to shake, and then it breaks up and falls apart. There is a difference. I was testing a Japanese relaxed chair in Seacon Square, you mean? And that chair worked very well, because I didn't notice a thing at first. My wife had to tell me, "Oh, you were in the chair when the earthquake hit." I was sitting there. I just stopped. There was a chair open at KFC. Now, I never eat at KFC, but I just decided I'm going to stop there. I want to just relax. I'm not ready to leave yet. So I sat down, and I'm sitting there, and I've been sitting there for a couple minutes, and I was like, all right, just about ready to go. And all of a sudden I feel this, and I thought, man, I'm really dizzy. I'm like, what's going on? And then I was like, no, that's not me. That's not me. And I look, and everybody was kind of looking at each other with this freaked out look on their face. And then I kind of turn, and I see all these people running out of the mall. I wish I could have got that footage, but I was too freaked out at the moment. I just didn't get it. So, um, yeah, that was wild, man. Truly wild. And then, my wife, she's like, there are no motorbikes. Nobody's going to take me. She's like, I don't want to take a taxi because the traffic is going to be just miserable. Even now, she's talking to all her coworkers. Are you okay? Now, this place was pretty quick. I mean, 5 minutes, man. Everybody's out the door. I mean, McDonald's is shuttering up. KFC shuttering up. Everybody's just closing down. And what's funny is that I had to go across the street, and I thought, well, I can't walk across the street. It's dangerous, and I think they have there's a way you can't get across. So I got to go in the overpass. So I thought, man, I hope people aren't just standing up there and it's crowded. And I could see it was crowded. So I go up, I go into the mall, and there's nobody there. Everybody's leaving. They're either leaving or they're gone. And so I went up on the second floor, and everything was shut down. I mean, all the businesses were closed, man. They were locked down. The people that were working there, they were gone. And I don't think they opened up afterwards. Now, Alex just went to the gym. Nicholas asked to go to the gym. And my wife said, no, the gym's going to be shut. You can't go. And he's like, well, I'm tired. All right, whatever. And then Alex goes, I'm going. Alex wants to go to the gym. So, okay, it's probably not a great place to be during an earthquake, but, whatever. So I get to the overpass, and I start walking, and they had locked up. It's called Enmark Plaza. It's in Happy Land. They had locked it up. You couldn't go in. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just go back. I'll go downstairs, and I'll just walk on, outside. So I walk downstairs, and I see that the first floor is open. They had not locked it up. So I just went in, walked in, looked around. I took a little bit of footage. People are covering everything up, locking everything down. And then, I got outside, and fortunately there was some motorcycles there. And I told the driver, all right, take me home. My wife said, hey, Dowlo, my wife said that what she wanted to do was to walk to the canal boat, because she couldn't get a motorbike or anything like it. So she just walked, and it was hot. She walks, all right, whatever, She gets to the canal boat. She said the canal boat was packed. You could barely even fit. Normally you're scrunched up, but it must have been 2:00, 2:30 by then, about 2:30. The boat was just jam-packed. People couldn't fit. They were waiting for other boats. So she gets on a boat. She comes back, and the boat started listing because of all the people, and the water in the canal was receding. And she goes, I was getting scared. She goes, the water kept going down and down and down. And it was like the boat didn't really have much more, and it was going to be onto the bottom of the canal. She goes, that's it. She got off on the next stop, and she's like, I had to get a motorcycle. She offered a motorcycle guy 500 baht to get her home, because she couldn't get any motorbike. She couldn't get a taxi. She couldn't get anything. And so that's how she got home. So she's still kind of freaked out. She won't forget it. I said, well, it's an exciting day for you. What do you'll remember this all your life. I mean, I still remember the Northridge quake, and I was in an apartment, and, we were shaking, and I thought that was it. It was over. I thought the apartment was going to collapse. Fortunately, it didn't, though. So, hey, Jim. All right. So, let's see here. Hundreds of casualties have been reported in Myanmar, with significant damage to buildings and infrastructure, including the collapse of the historic Ava Bridge. Now, I have the video of the bridge collapsing. And here it is. It's a website. It's on Irrawaddy, which I wrote for Irrawaddy once a long time ago about bare knuckle boxing and Khmer, Kun Khmer Baran and Muay Thai, Muay Baran. I wrote about all those and it went in this magazine. So this is the magazine that I wrote for. Now this has been, it's probably been 20 years. Great magazine. If you're into Myanmar, this is a great magazine. Fantastic. But they have a video right at the top of the bridge collapsing. And I have been to Mandalay. I have been to that bridge. I know where it is. And it's sad. And I haven't had a chance to talk to my friend Nanda in Myanmar. I don't know where he is. Last I talked to him, he's trying to get his kid into Thailand, to university here, but hasn't been able to. So I don't know what's going on, but I need to get a hold of him. Thought I was having a vertigo attack until everyone else was feeling the same. Yeah, it was pretty weird. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been in an earthquake. I mean, you know, and there was an earthquake here in Thailand in 2019, and then 2014, and I think 2011. And I was in all of those. And I don't even really, I remember, I think it was the one in 2014. I remember that one. And, you know, it wasn't as strong as today, you know. So it's been a while. And to be honest, I don't really think, I have not really thought about earthquakes in Thailand. Tsunami, okay. But tsunami's down south, right? And even where our house is down in the south, tsunami's never going to come that far inland. I mean, you know, it's 200 miles inland or something. It's not gonna happen, right? And in fact, she talked to her sister, and her sister said, "Why don't you come down here? It's safer." And I was like, "Okay, let's go." And I'm telling you, my wife, me here. Are you sleeping? Oh, she's sleeping. She's going to bed. She was, it's very early too. But she's been on the phone. And I heard her say, "I'm not going back to the office." She's like, "No way am I going back to that office." She's like, "I'm working from home from now on. I am not going in that office. It is not safe." So maybe she'll be here more often or somewhere. But we talked about going down to the south, and you know, I'm like, "All right, well, let's go." "What about the cats?" I'm like, "What about them?" "Leave them. Leave some food. Send them to the cat hotel." She's like, "No, we can't do that. Let's bring them down there." I go, "Well, maybe a snake will eat them down in the south. You got to worry about that. Maybe a snake will eat them. Maybe they'll get lost. Maybe they'll get hit by a car," which I do worry about. And so then Alex goes, "Well, I don't really want to go." So, "Well, then you can stay home and take care of the cats. You can stay home and take care of the cats. By the time I get back, I hope you have a job and you're working. And all right, now we're on our way." But I really don't think that's going to happen. It's a little bit too, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not too far in advance of Songkran. I mean, that's Songkran is about 2 weeks away. So for me, it's not. I'm ready. Let's go. You know, I can go somewhere else, and I'll meet you there. You know, whatever. Well, let me see. What the hell's it called? Sagaing. Sagaing fault line. Sagaing fault. A major fault in Myanmar. It does go down to the ocean. It is a transform fault between the Indian Plate and Sunda Plate. It links the divergent boundary in the Andaman Sea with the zone of active continental collision along the Himalayan front. Wow. Passes through the populated cities of Mandalay, Yamathen. I mean, I've been to Mandalay, and I love Mandalay. It's great. Great place. Yamathen, Pianmana, the capital, Naypyidaw, Tungu, and Pegu before dropping off into the Gulf of Martaban, running for a total of over 1,200 kilometers. Oh, well, the total length of it is 1,400. It goes all the way up to the Tibetan Plateau. So it's a deadly fault, man. You know, I was trying to explain how the faults work to Alex and my wife, Bo. And I give them the simplistic explanation of it, but I mean it's pretty complicated when you think about it, how everything happens. But yeah, it's given me food for thought about living here. And that's the thing. Everywhere on the earth, there are things that can kill you. It's not like you can go somewhere else and you go, I'm perfectly safe here. Nothing's ever going to hurt me. You go down to Florida, you're going to get hit by hurricanes all the time. My parents have been through probably 10, 15 hurricanes just since I've been gone. Probably 20. There was an aftershock today. It was 6.4. So wondering if yeah. All right. You keep thinking about those bar girls. I understand. But when it comes to, hey, how about I get my ass out to safety, or how about I have this girl in my lap? She can wait. I can wait. Oh, you know what? I got to put some drops in my eye. I got like I don't know what it is. Could be an infection, eye infection or something. I don't know. But I got some drops. Got to put them in. So, let's go on because there's a lot of information here. Regional effects. Aftershocks. A significant aftershock measuring 6.4 in magnitude occurred shortly after the initial quake, further impacting rescue and relief efforts. Tremors were felt as far as India and China, with reports of injuries and property damage in affected areas. Emergency services in both Myanmar and Thailand are actively engaged in search and rescue missions, striving to locate and assist those trapped under debris. I would hate for that to be me. That has got to be one of the worst things that can happen to somebody, because you are like in jail if you're alive. You can't go anywhere. You got stuff all over you. There's no way you can go anywhere. And if you look at the video I got, I know that the footage is not all that great and everything, and I'm just yapping on the video, but it does show some of the footage of when the building collapsed. It shows different viewpoints. And then I did put another video up in the community tab where you see the crane fall before, and you see all the water falling down, which I didn't realize that's what it was at first. And then you see the car going, and you see all the debris flying up in the air. It's just horrible. And now I'm looking at it. You can see just how much devastation there was just from that one building, man. I mean, crazy. Now they're saying at least 20 fatalities in Naypyidaw and 8 in Mandalay. The earthquake led to the collapse of buildings, including significant infrastructure such as the Ava Bridge. And I did give you the video of the Ava Bridge. Uh, all right, we got that. 3 confirmed fatalities. The earthquake caused buildings to sway across Bangkok, leading to evacuations and widespread panic among residents. Let me tell you something. When I say people were scared, I mean, I don't know why I wasn't. It's not like I'm super brave or something. I just thought nothing's falling down. And the shake is very minimal. The shake was pretty good in the beginning, but I thought, the shake's not that bad. And nothing was falling. If I saw something start to fall, I would be like, I got to get out of here. But nothing was falling. So I just thought, you know what? I got to stay relaxed. And I walk outside. And then I'm out there with probably 1,000 people. There's just people lined up all down the road. People talking, people on their phone, people like giggling about it, people who are scared. And I thought to myself, I'm not in a very good spot right here. And I look up and there's the mall. And I thought, if we have a big quake right now, maybe the mall might just fall right on top of me. I thought, I got to get out of here. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go across. I'm going to get out of here. And I even took a motorbike, came home. Kids are all right. I'm like, all right, cool. Then the next thing I know, my wife calls. She's like, oh, I'm on the boat now. Are you guys okay? She's freaking out, man. And I was like, just don't worry. We're all right. We're okay. She gets home and everybody's just chilling. So what are you guys doing? Chilling? Let's see. All right, I already told you that. Actively engaged. No, I was I wasn't intimidated by this one today. I mean, I was like, wow, I can't believe it's happening here. But I wasn't what you would say intimidated. That just not going to happen. All right, now the Ava Bridge is a historic bridge in Myanmar that spans the Irrawaddy River, connecting Mandalay and Sagaing. Originally built during the British colonial era, it has been an essential transport link in central Myanmar. It was built in 1934 by the British and destroyed by retreating British forces in 1942 to prevent Japanese troops from advancing. You think about it, and just about 75 years ago, well, that would be 83 years ago, is when the war was going on here. And now it's almost 100 years, but, and it was rebuilt in 1954 after Myanmar gained independence. It is a steel truss bridge with road and rail lanes, and it serves as a major connection between Mandalay, Sagaing, and Upper Myanmar. It's 1,000 feet, 1,000 meters long. Significant structural failure of this bridge occurred during the earthquake. Some sections, and you can see it in the video, have collapsed, and authorities are assessing the extent of the damage. This would be a major blow to Myanmar's infrastructure, disrupting transport and trade routes. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen with that, but that's pretty damaging. And I was thinking about it, and the thing is that you don't really think, like, I just was kind of like, all right, well, it was an earthquake. Okay, places had to close up. Well, some places closed up, and something like the SkyTrain. It won't surprise me if the SkyTrain is closed for a few days, that you can't use it. They may say that. I don't know, because they're going to want to inspect everything, right? I mean, it won't surprise me. I don't think I'd ever get used to that feeling of helplessness. Well, I don't know. What are you going to do? The thing is, you feel helpless, but what can you really do? Can't do anything. And that happens a lot of times where you're just like, oh, I can't really do anything about it. Country that's made out of concrete and shakes like that. 7.7 is made to make unsafe structural damages. I would say that a lot of the skyscrapers that are being built recently, and I mean probably in the last 10 years, they are structurally sound and they are meant to sway, a couple of inches each way instead of just like shaking and then crumbling. I talked to Jono, and Jono said, he said his building was just going. He said, my building was crazy. He goes, I was on the 29th floor, can't take the lift down. He said, I had to go down 29 floors. He said, by the time I got down to the bottom, I was exhausted. Yeah, he's way up there, which I don't like that. But, this is him. And, my wife was 20 floors up and she had to go down herself. And she showed me there was some footage where people were running down the stairs. She goes, that was me. I was running down the stairs. I go, well, were you freaked out? She goes, I was freaking. I thought I was going to die. I said, well, you should keep your calm. Just, if you're going to die, you're going to die. Will this help end the Civil War or make it worse? I don't know. What Civil War are you talking about? I don't know any Civil War. Talking about down in the South? It's not going to do anything. Nothing. People in the South didn't even feel it. I mean, our house is down there. Her sister didn't feel it. Didn't feel it at all. And my friend is down there. My friend Steve. He's down in, what is he, Hat Yai? I forgot. I think he's in Hat Yai. And he said, he didn't even know about it. What did he tell me? Let me see here. Didn't he write me? What is this here? Excuse me. Nothing down here, but I was teaching a Bangkok kid when it hit. We never lost our connection, so I guessed it wasn't so bad. It was bad up here. Anyway, so in the South, nothing. Oh, you talking about the Civil War in Burma? Well, I don't know. Are you? Is that what you're talking about? The Civil War in Burma is just going to keep going on. They want it to go on. I don't mean they want it because they want war. They just don't want to give in to what one of the factions wants. I mean, there are probably fucking A, man, 20 different groups down there. And I met with one of the groups. I forget what it was called, the KLNU or the KNLU or something like that. And then I was going to go with this group on the border at one time. And we didn't do it because it's just the timing wasn't right. But it was. I mean, it gets pretty crazy out there. But I don't know what it is about Myanmar, but like in Myanmar, you stay out of the way, man. I mean, even when things were going on, I was there right before the Japanese guy got shot. The Japanese journalist got shot. I was there like 3 days before, and it was pretty gnarly. And when I first went there, the first time that I went to Myanmar, which was many years ago, like 20 years ago, I told this, but I told this story before. But the first time I went, there was a guy following me, and I had met Nanda, and I trusted Nanda. Nanda is fantastic. He's a great friend, good dude. He's funny. We got along great, right? But I asked him, this guy's following me. He goes, oh, yeah, he's a spy. I was like, what is this guy following me for? I got enough. They don't know that. If they find one thing, they tell somebody and maybe they get something. Maybe he gets $10, And that's how it was. And I was worried because I was carrying around a camera. I was worried that they were going to come after me and go, you have a camera. Give us that camera. Give us your film. Give us everything. I was really worried about it, man. It took me 3 or 4 trips before I felt safe to go in there with a camera. Schools can what to do during the quake. Anything 5.0 and below is just shrugged off. Yeah, this was a pretty big one. Hey, I know now, Justin. I'm sorry. I thought you meant in Thailand. I don't know why I was thinking that. The earthquake is going to cause many people in Bangkok to buy life insurance. Why? For what? Earthquake? I won't be. I won't be buying any. You know, Jim bad. It wasn't that bad where he was. He slept right through it. I only know one local felt it. Yet we are exact. Well, you're the same distance, but that doesn't mean that it went towards your area. It came towards us, and um, it was pretty bad. I mean, you know, I definitely felt it. I thought at first I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And then I saw that the whole building was shaking. The floor was shaking. I was like, "What the hell?" And then then I realized, "Oh shit, it's an earthquake." Yeah, I was in the Northridge quake, and I remember that quake in San Francisco. That was a gnarly one. I actually thought I was having an episode until everyone else started yelling. Yeah, I was by myself. I had my headphones on. I'm listening to my music. I'm just like, I'm like I usually am. I don't let anything bother me. I'm just like, you know. That's right. The game was playing when that happened. That was crazy. That was pretty crazy. Ugh. Hang on a second here. Ugh. Had a return and the Giants got destroyed. Well, you're not all that far from me. Ugh. That's where my kids used to go to school, in that area. Many moons ago, they went to school there. I was watching it on TV and remember the call by Al Michaels. Oh yeah, he was great. I liked Al Michaels. I liked him. I liked Jim Lampley. I liked Larry Merchant. I liked George Foreman when he was announcer. Um, all those guys were great. I liked Gil Clancy. I liked what was that guy's? Dan Deerdorf was fantastic. He learned right on. I mean, he learned on the job, and he was great. Yeah, and I was not all that far away. I mean, I was far enough away to where it didn't completely crush us, but I was really close to where I felt it. We felt it big time. We stood in the doorway because we were like holding on the doorway because we thought the building was going to collapse, and we were like, I hope the frame doesn't come down. I hope everything doesn't just collapse. And we got lucky. Afterwards, we were like, like, oh my God. Can't believe that was the one that really just made me, all right, I guess if you're going to die, you're going to die. What are you going to do? You know, not much you can do. If I was in the mall I mean, listen, if I was on the mall, if I was on the Sky Train, if I was in the subway, and it really hit hard, and it wasn't in Myanmar, it was like, in Chiang Mai or something. The cat is driving me nuts. That's you? Is she asleep? Is she asleep? She go upstairs? Oh. What's she outside for? She's driving me nuts. And that cat needs to shut up. Every time you get near that cat goes crazy. I know. They don't just use thin cinder blocks. That's rubbish. Oh, okay. I wonder if she's getting some pain medicine or something. Like if you look at the houses in this village, they are not made of thin cinder blocks, Jim. That's nonsense. Some of the ones, like especially out in the villages, because they want to build a cheap house that they can put up. Wood, cement. I'm not all that worried. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't mean to sound blasé about it or anything like that. But I don't know what there is to worry about. Oh, we're gonna have another one. Well, chances are I won't be in the SkyTrain for quite some time because I don't want to take a chance on that. So I'll be taking a taxi, or I won't be going anywhere. Just told my mother today. I was on the phone with her. I said, I just don't have the same urge to travel like I used to. It used to be like I had to go everywhere. I want to go here and then I'm going to go there. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm happy at home. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. Maybe I'm tired of going through the bullshit when you go through an airport where you're getting checked. And if you don't show somebody something and you accidentally go through, they yell at you or, whatever it is. I mean, sometimes they're nice to you. In Thailand, they tend to be pretty nice. But, some places, it's just not really. I live in Taipei for several years and earthquakes occurred regularly. Our house is all concrete and brick. Maybe it'd be safer. Maybe. Alex got pissed at the cat now. That cat, for some reason, follows Alex around and just meows and just meows and meows and meows. Will not let up. So Alex put her in the crate? Is he over there? Oh, okay. I thought he was asleep. He came downstairs? Oh, well, then Nikki, what are you doing? Why is that? Well, you can sleep with Alex. Was the BTS MRT damaged? I did not hear that it was damaged. It did shake a lot. It shook a whole lot. But I don't think that it was really damaged. But let me see here. Temporary suspensions. The tremors prompted immediate safety inspections of the public transportation system, causing significant disruptions for commuters. According to reports, services were expected to resume operations on Saturday, March 29th, pending thorough safety checks. As of now, there are no specific reports of structural damage to the BTS or MRT systems. The suspensions appear to have been precautionary measures to ensure passenger safety. However, the situation is evolving and it's advisable to stay updated through official channels for the latest information on public transportation status in Bangkok. And this is exactly one of the reasons why I don't mind being down in the south in some little house on the prairie, out in the woods, out in the jungle. I don't mind it because it's peaceful. And even my mother said that today. She said, I know you want to go somewhere that's peaceful. And I'm like, but that place is peaceful. It just doesn't have an ocean, But I'll tell you what, with the BTS and MRT, I'm going to give you a little tip. Don't take the BTS or MRT for the next 2 or 3 days. Let the knuckleheads jump on there. And if something happens and nobody checked it and something collapses and they all fly down to the ground, then you're not the one on the train. Oh, I don't think you can imagine what it was like, Brandon. I mean, I was just sitting in the mall and I kind of turned my head and I see literally hundreds of people running towards the doors. Um, and everybody went out. Some people went all the way out to the street. Some people were right in the uh, the driveway, the driving area where the taxis go. Some people were right up against the mall, and that's where I was at first because it was, I was like, how am I going to get out of here? And then I thought, oh, I got to get away. I kind of walked down. I was right in the middle of the street, and then I thought, I can't cross the street. I have to go over. And I thought, son of a bitch. So I go walk right back into the mall. I just walked right through the mall. Wasn't that big of a deal. Just go walk right through. But every place was shut down. They had already closed down. Nikki, where did your mother go for what's she getting? Okay. You're in patio, the International Hospital, and the hospital in John, huh? And only evacuated, all put their patients on the street. Oh, yeah. I don't know about the hospitals. And actually, now that I think about it, right down the street we have three hospitals. We have Waitani Hospital. Then a little bit farther down, we have Lot Prow Hospital. And then running parallel to us, if you go straight, and then down this way, which I guess is, let me think here, south, north, east. Then there's all those hospitals, and I can imagine they might have put their, yeah, I didn't even think of that. I leave that to you, Bob. I didn't even think of that, man. Well, what are they going to do? Leave them inside so that the concrete can fall on their heads? They can't do that, you know. You hear that, cat? Son of a bitch. Hey, bastard. You bastard. These cats are a pain in the ass. I mean, really, you think about it. I'm laying here and I'm like, oh God, I'm all high on morphine. I got fentanyl in me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel good. And then I'm shaking. I'm like, whoo, this stuff is good. I'm on a ride. Oh, it's not a ride. The whole building is moving. You know. Well, they do. They do sense it. Oh, I mean, yeah, I was just saying that, there is so much damage and they don't even know yet. And, Burma is, I don't know if you've ever been to Burma, but I've been there many times. And um, it's just, you're like 30 years behind, right? I mean, when the tsunami hit, let me see something here because I don't know how many, but let me see something. Oh yeah, was it called a massacre? No, that was the Battle of Ramri. Are there still crocodiles in Ramri? Wow. Oh, the region no longer supports a viable population of crocodile. Oh, okay. All right. It doesn't say anything about. It only says about Ramri, which is the Battle of Ramri. Um, and this is many years ago. This is back in the 60s? Was it the 60s? No, no, no. It was in the 40s, late 40s. But I could have sworn. Oh, let me see something. Let me see if it's this way. No, 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 no. During the tsunami, no, crocodiles are not dead people. During the tsunami in Burma, the crocodiles ate dead people. That is true. Now, I don't remember where I saw it. Let's see here. 250,000 people were missing during the tsunami. And that's mostly from Myanmar. And what happened was the people died, and the crocodiles found them and ate them. They were feeding off of the dead, which is, I think it was Sri Lanka, and between Sri Lanka and Myanmar, that's where all this happened. But crocodiles don't care. Crocodiles are nasty, man. They are gnarly. I don't want to put myself in any position. You ain't gonna catch me near some pond or lagoon in Australia going, well, I think I'll go for a swim now. I just saw it the other day. They had these alligators in Florida, and they were big alligators, and they had seen them around this fishing hole, and then they had like what do they call them? Where you go get your like bait shops, and it had signs that says, there are alligators here. They will eat you. Don't go swimming here. And so one night, they had a bar. They had all kinds of stuff there. Guy goes out. He gets plastered. He's, walking around going, I go swimming anywhere I want. And they're going, no, don't go swimming. Don't you dare. He takes his clothes off, jumps in the water. He jumps in the water, and he's like, he's playing around. Like 5 minutes later, the croc comes and bites him. He starts fighting with the croc, but he's losing. And eventually, the croc killed him and ate him. And the croc got away, and he left some of his body. Really gruesome stuff, man. I mean, yeah, it's just the circle of life. The dummies get eaten. The guy that was interviewed by CNN said the SkyTrain was moving like a snake during the earthquake. Yeah, concrete and metal is not designed to move like a snake. I don't know. I don't hunt crocodile. I leave crocodile alone. I grew up with alligators, and I leave alligators alone. Guys would go swimming for golf balls in the lakes. We have a golf course in our town, and they would go into the lakes going swimming. And what happened was, after a while, people started going, I've heard there's gators in there. And I went, fuck that. I'm not going anymore. No way. Not going to happen. And some people have done that, and they get eaten. And, it's not going to happen to me, man. I would sometimes stop at a park on the way home from work. There was a lake. I'd see gators sunning themselves at the children's play area. Yeah, of course. I was telling my wife, you see these cats? You think these cats are your best friends? They're not your best friend. They're only your friend because you're giving them food. If you die, they're going to eat you. She's like, no, they won't. I'm like, yes, they will. She doesn't believe it. And I'm like, you should believe it, What? What? So? Oh, she just got back. He wanted me to be cool. Don't talk in front of her like that. But this is truth. She didn't believe it. Hey, Bo, if you die, will the cats eat you? No. Did you eat your chocolate, Alex? Okay. Oh, Buddy, you got it so wrong. You have it so wrong. What? That's fine. Whatever you want. I thought he was going to sleep with Alex. Whatever. This guy says that Sid is vicious. Nancy is the smart one. Who's the vicious one, Alex? Out of the two cats, who's more vicious? That's easy. Nancy. She's an animal. She literally she's an animal. Listen, I was sitting there petting her once, and she's real skittish. If you move a little bit quickly, she like gets all freaked out. And so I'm petting her. Everything's nice. I'm petting her. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, so nice. And I don't know what happened. I moved a little bit. Next thing I know, she sunk her teeth into my hand, scratched me with one part of her with her claws, and bit me with her mouth, and then ran off. Now, Sid will get pissed at me, but he doesn't attack me. Meanwhile, in Australia, there's only been 44 deaths from crocodile attacks since 2007, as safe as houses do go swimming. It's as safe as houses do go swimming. Okay, so that's about a little more than 2 a year. So 2 people a year get eaten. That's enough. I don't know what's going on out here. Usually I don't have this because I'm somewhere else. You see, now I can start to see I got swelling underneath my eye. Gnarly. I got like somebody punched me or something, but it's not from that. It's like a bruise. Anyway, well, that's exciting. It's always exciting talking about crocodiles and alligators. And now, of course, in the Florida Everglades, there are pythons and also crocodiles as well. Close the door. So, if you're going to, in the back of our house in Florida, our backyard is all fenced in, and we have these big trees, so you can't see out. But there is a canal, excuse me, that runs along the back section of our property. It goes way back. And that that canal has alligators in it. And my mother said, I felt pretty safe until I found out that alligators can climb fences. She goes, we got a 6-foot fence, and that alligator can climb the 6-foot fence. She's like, now I go out in the backyard with the dogs. I'm always looking for alligators. Oh, yeah, those drop bears. Yep, you got to watch them. They'll get you. There we go. All right, well, how long have we been streaming here? An hour? I'm a little exhausted. Been an exhausting day. I think more people suffer damage from women than drop bears. Anyway, all right. Do I have any more information? Let's see here. Well, we talked about the bridge. Wow. Oh, that was for the MRT and BTS. All right, but the bridge is out of commission now. And let me see here. What is the deal? Who are these people? All right, let me see here. Anything new? Get my news report here. Myanmar, the earthquake has resulted in at least 28 fatalities, 20 in Naypyidaw and 8 in Mandalay due to building collapses. That is not a good way to go. In Bangkok's Chatuchak district, a 30-story building under construction collapsed with reports of 8 confirmed deaths and dozens are feared trapped. I don't think they know how many are there. As we said, the Ava Bridge in Myanmar has suffered significant structural damage, disrupting transportation in Bangkok. The BTS and MRT services were temporarily suspended for safety inspections, but have since resumed operations. Emergency services in both countries are engaged, utilizing drones and rescue dogs to locate survivors. The World Health Organization has activated its emergency response system to provide urgent medical relief. Myanmar's military junta has declared a state of emergency in 6 regions and is requesting international humanitarian aid. Thailand's prime minister has declared Bangkok an emergency zone, mobilizing resources for the disaster response. Neighboring countries and international organizations have expressed readiness to provide assistance, though efforts are complicated by infrastructural damage and ongoing conflicts in certain regions. The situation is evolving rapidly. For the most current information, please refer to the updates from local authorities and reputable news sources. There you go. Chatuchak building was a government building under. Well, it was under construction. That's what I said. And there was 200 people there. So they don't know exactly how many are. They don't know how many people are dead, how many people are hurt. They don't know. Did you feel any? Of course, I felt the tremors. That's what I've said that from the very beginning. Where are all the people who they evacuated from the city center and high rises going to take shelter? That must be a hell of a lot of people in Bangkok. Well, I'm not sure what you think, but if they evacuated people from high rises and there was no damage to the building, you just go back to their house. That's what they do. Now, if it's a business, that's a different story. Maybe it's okay. There's no problem. I'm telling you, my wife has said I'm not going back to the office. It's too dangerous. So she was traumatized by it. I joke about it, but she was. I mean, she thought she was going to die. She thought, oh my God, if I don't get out of here, I'm going to die. And then she was like, I got to get to the kids. I got to get to the kids. And then she's like calling me and she can't get through to me and she's texting us all. And we're telling her, you can text, but you can't call. She's freaking out. I tried calling her. I can't call her. I mean, we tried like calling each other like 10 times. Where are all the, oh, okay. Well, we already read that. Yeah. You're saying it's a hell of a lot of people, but really, you evacuate the mall, people go home. You evacuate a building that, there's a lot of people in, they put them back in. I'm sure that in the hospitals, they didn't just throw them outside and let them sit out there in the hot sun. They move them back in. What else are you going to do? You can't do anything else. Global cannabis shift. Who's leading and who's lagging? Well, I guess we could talk about that for a second. And, of course, my wife has all these people calling. She's calling them. Are you okay? And, they call. She's like one of the older people in her office. Don't let her hear that, but she is one of the older people in her office. So they all call her Mother. That's like the nickname, Mother, did you do this today? Did you send me that, Mother? Are you okay? Let's see here. Well, this is just telling me a bunch of junk. Uruguay has made history. Recreational. Canada, Mexico, putting it in perspective. Oh, well, they don't even have Thailand in here. Medical use only. 38 states permit cannabis. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this doesn't tell me much. Netherlands, Portugal, Switzerland. But they're not showing any. Here we go, Asia. Zero tolerance. Singapore and Indonesia have some of the strictest drug laws in the world. Emerging markets. Thailand made headlines as the first Asian nation to legalize medical cannabis in 2018 and later decriminalize recreational use. But after an initial boom, political shifts may bring tighter restrictions again, leaving businesses and consumers in limbo. I have a feeling they're just not going to talk about it. They're just not going to talk about it. They're just not going to say anything, and everything's going to go on like it always does. Well, I wasn't there when the earthquake happened. I wasn't in Nana when the earthquake was happening, but I imagine it was. There are not enough building inspectors in Bangkok to clear so many buildings for. Okay, but so what are you going to do? That's my point. What are you going to do? You inspect the highest priority buildings first. If you think that the SkyTrain is at great risk, you look at SkyTrain first. Then you go somewhere else. That's what you do. There's only so much they can do. I mean, you always have this when there's a natural disaster. So really, what are you going to do? It's one of my favorite things to say. What are you going to do? Or it is what it is, But what are you going to do? So they don't have enough building inspectors. Okay, well, the buildings that seem okay, people go back, and maybe they have somebody inspect it, maybe real quick. I don't know. But at first, they're inspecting all the stuff that loads of people are riding on. I guarantee you that they took an hour at the SkyTrain and looked all along the track. They have ways where they can do that. So I guarantee you they did that. They looked all along. They went everywhere to make sure that it was okay. And they said, all right, it's fine. Now they're right back in business. I mean, I guess if Nana was shaken, then I guess Soy Cowboy was shaken. And I would think it's not that far away. Pat Pong would be shaken. RCA would be shaken. Hoi Kwang would be shaken. They'd all be busy. But I bet you some of them would be closed because that's what they do. Even when I was coming back from the mall, I had to crossed over. I get over. There's people all just sitting on the streets. And there's all these places they're already closed up. Nobody is even in their. They're not at their jobs anymore. They're all right. That's it. We're packing up. We're going home. I mean, think about it. You're flipping burgers somewhere. You don't want to get caught in there and get squished. You know. And that's why I say, don't go on the SkyTrain or on the MRT for the first few days. Let all the people that think, it's fine, no problem, I'm going to go on it, let them do it. They can be the guinea pigs. I don't want to be. I'll just stay at home. I'll take who knows? Let's see. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake could accelerate the sinking in some areas. However, there are no real immediate reports that I've seen that indicate the quake has significantly worsened Bangkok's sinking problem. I can tell you by the time it is a very big problem, we won't be here. We'll be gone by then, even if we're living in the South. So, Older buildings or poorly built structures could suffer foundation shifts, indirectly increasing stress on the land. So some of the older buildings could cause problems and they could have problems. If you're in an older building and you know, oh, this is a really old building, I wouldn't want to be in it. The primary concern are damaged infrastructure and collapsed buildings. But if significant ground shifts occurred, experts will assess whether Bangkok's long term sinking has worsened. Would you like updates if geologists confirm anything? Yes, I would. Let me put my email address in here and I will get those updates as they come. What was I worried about? What was I thinking about? Oh, are, let's see here. Searching. Concerns have arisen regarding the structural integrity of buildings in Bangkok. Professor Dr. Armorn Pimanmas, president of the Structural Engineers Association of Thailand, highlighted that the intense shaking could lead to structural cracks and damage, particularly in older buildings constructed before the enforcement of Thailand's 2007 earthquake resistant building code. Now, I thought it was after 2014 that it went into effect because there was a big earthquake in 2014, but it wasn't. It was 2007. What I think they had one in 2009 also, one or two. While the exact number of qualified building inspectors in Bangkok is not specified in the available sources, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration and related agencies are expected to mobilize their inspection teams to assess the safety of structures throughout the city. Given the scale of the earthquake's impact, it's plausible that additional resources, including private structural engineers and experts from academic institutions, may be enlisted to ensure comprehensive evaluations. So there you go. They think they've got it covered with these additional people. In response to the disaster, the Thai military has activated its disaster relief center, deploying personnel and equipment to assist in rescue and recovery operations, which may include building inspections. Uh, Residents and building occupants are advised to wait official communications from local authorities regarding the safety status of their buildings and to report any visible structural damages promptly. Okay, let's see. What is this? The disaster area? Let me see this. Wow, the death toll is rising as we speak. Dozens are trapped under the skyscraper. United States Geological Survey says the quake was shallow at a depth of just 10 kilometers, with the epicenter near the central city of Mandalay. Have you been affected by the earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand? Yes, I have. All right. Oh my God. This building that collapsed is just horrific, man. I mean, you would not want to be in there. You would not want to be in there. Pope Francis says offered his prayers for the victims of the powerful earthquake that hit Myanmar and Thailand, the Vatican press office said. Francis said he was deeply saddened by the loss of life and widespread devastation caused by the earthquake. And here I am sitting in the mall doing everything lackadaisically because I think, well, we're fine. It makes me wonder, what was I thinking? Are you stupid or are you brave? Maybe I was a little stupid. 8 people confirmed dead. 7 people killed at the construction site. Wow. Uh, Rescuers are still scrambling to save dozens of construction workers feared trapped under a collapsed high-rise that was under construction in the capital. Police are using drones to detect body heat, and the search for survivors and rescue dogs have also been deployed. The Thai media reported the 30-foot, what? The 30 floor building was supposed to form government offices. Wow. So this is a pretty sad situation, to be honest. I don't know. Um, I don't know what to say. It call aftershocks that liquefy the buildings near. It call aftershocks? I mean, it's called aftershocks that liquefy the buildings near the river and canal. Imagine if the sewer pipes had broken. Well, that's happened before. I mean, if you go swimming in the water in Pattaya, you're swimming kind of in a sewer, right? Anyway, where are we here? 76 minutes. Ooh, hour and 15 minutes already. And I don't have anything else to say about this situation other than it is gnarly. Now, let me see something here. I want to see. Oh, here's the. This is they have like the magnitude where it struck and how far out it came. Well, it's a little bit surprising what they have here, but there may be several strong aftershocks after the quake. If you're in the area or planning to travel there, follow the advice of local authorities and monitor local media. Okay, well, I'm sorry to. Uh, one thing that I did see that I have not talked about is in Myanmar, there were quite a few buildings that have collapsed or they are leaning and almost at the point of collapsing. Just terrible, man. I mean, really bad. And here is, oh my God, a rescue worker attempts to extract a mother and her child from a collapsed building in Naypyidaw. Wow. Oh my God, and the baby is trapped. That's horrible, man. Really bad. Only if you're in a bar. They had already started calling into question legitimacy of the contractor who was constructing the Chattachak building. Listen to your cats. There may be more incoming quakes. Usually I listen to my cats. They know when my wife is coming home. They know, she's getting ready to come home, and I see them like standing by the door or something. Then I know, oh, she's getting ready to come home. Um, as far as the quakes go, I don't know. That could be true. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I will try to stay safe. I can tell you that. I won't be going into any high rises in the near future. Bob, I'm sorry, but if I come to Pattaya, I'm not going in your apartment. Not going to happen. We can't even hang out in your apartment because it might be dangerous there. And that's the truth. Jono, not going to happen, buddy. I'm not going up on the 29th floor. That is the last way that I want to go. I don't want to be on the 25th or the 29th floor and something happens and the whole building like just collapses and I go with it. Or I'm stuck there and I'm going to have to jump because there's no other way. I had to jump from the 4th floor. I had to jump from the 4th floor in an apartment complex during a fire. And that was gnarly. And I was in a coma for 4 days. Never again. Snakes are known to be one of the most sensitive animals to seismic activity. Some species can sense earthquakes days or even weeks in advance and will flee their burrows in panic. Dogs. Many dog owners report unusual behavior, barking, whining, restlessness, minutes to hours before an earthquake. Cats often display nervousness or suddenly hide before an earthquake strikes. Elephants have been observed moving to higher ground before tsunamis or earthquakes, likely due to their ability to detect low frequency vibrations through their feet. Birds sometimes flee an area in large numbers before an earthquake, possibly sensing changes in air pressure or magnetic fields. Frogs, large scale frog migrations have been reported before major earthquakes, such as in L'Aquila, Italy in 2009. Cows and horses, some livestock become agitated, refuse to eat, or try to break free from enclosures before earthquakes. Fish, sudden erratic swimming, so just about every animal. Sudden erratic swimming or beaching behavior has been observed before earthquakes and tsunamis. Why do animals sense earthquakes? Some can detect P waves, primary waves, before the stronger F waves arrive. Others may be responding to changes in electrical or magnetic fields. Some animals sense gas emissions from the underground shifts, so they know when you're going to fart. While not scientifically proven as an earthquake prediction method, many historical accounts suggest animals may act as an early warning system seismic events. So I don't know who asked that question. A lotto retirement strategist, but there you go. Better than being on the ground floor and the whole building falls on you. Bob, if I'm going to be on the ground floor, I'm not going to be anywhere near the building. I'm going to be away. I don't want to be anywhere where something can fall on me. That's why when I went out in front of the mall today, I looked up and I went, the mall's still here. Good time to move away. And that's what I did. Have Sid or Nancy know? I don't know. Because I wasn't here. I'll buy a Thai beta fish. Yeah, okay. You guys do what you got to do. All right. I got my cats. That's enough. Even though they're not my best friends or anything, I'll use them. I'll use them and see, do they sense anything? What's going to happen? Anyway, well, I don't know. I don't have much more to say. I'm glad. I just wanted to come on and talk about this a little bit because I do think it was pretty important, and it is a serious matter. And we sit here and we talk about things and we joke around a little bit and everything, but the bottom line is it is a serious matter, and that's really all I can say. Let me see. Was it Nepal? Oh my God. April 2015, 7.8 or 8.1 magnitude earthquake hit and spread over Nepal, India, China, and Bangladesh and killed 8,962 people and injured 21,952. Now, it's funny because they have a picture. I'm not saying it's my picture, but they have a picture here in Kathmandu that looks almost exactly like the one I took, where people are sitting on top of this mound of wood and debris. And this is was still the earthquake. We went, I think, maybe a year after the earthquake, and people were still rebuilding. I mean, that was horrible. The earthquake triggered an avalanche on Mount Everest, killing 22 people. The deadliest incident on the mountain on record. The earthquake triggered another huge avalanche in the Langtang Valley, where 250 people were reported missing. Hundreds of thousands of Nepalese were made homeless, with entire villages flattened. So, no joke. It's no joke, man. And, I'm very happy that, Patia Bob, you're okay. Nothing's wrong with you. Jono, he's okay. Jim's okay. Lots of people that live here are okay. None of my friends so far have reported that they were injured or anything happened to them. So I'm thankful for that. And that's really all you can do. You just can hope a little bit. You just hope everything goes okay. And, this is the thing. I hate to say this, but, if it's your time, it's your time. And, personally, I don't want to die. I want to live to be old. As long as I'm not pissing myself and shitting myself, I want to keep living. Even if I'm really not, doing all kinds of meaningful things. I just do a little something here and there, and they all add up and they make me happy, right? That's kind of what I want to do. But, you're never guaranteed. That's the thing. You're not guaranteed a place on this earth. I mean, I see people. You think, well, look at George Foreman. Man, George Foreman, I thought the guy was going to live for a long time. And, when I worked in boxing, we actually contacted him because we wanted him to come to our event. We wanted him to, do a meet and greet. It's too expensive because, they wanted quite a bit of money, and then they wanted 5 first class tickets, and it was just too much money. And we thought about it, and we thought, oh, we can do something different for, a tenth of the price. And that's what we did. But I exchanged emails with his son. So, I mean, it's not him, but I felt good that, okay, I'm trying to do a little business with them. And so, I grew up watching him and Ali and Joe Frazier and Ken Norton and Jerry Quarry and all these guys. I grew up watching that. That's when I really learned about boxing, was in the 60s when I was a little kid. And to see him go, now they're all gone. Frazier's gone, Ali's gone, Norton's gone, Foreman's gone. They're all gone. Corey's gone. Wepner, I think, is Wepner still around? I don't know. He might be around. But they're all gone from that era. So, and they weren't all that old. So, if it doesn't happen naturally, it might happen because of an earthquake or a tsunami or something. You never know, right? So, anyway, that's all I have. If anybody has anything else, speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, if you have anything else to say, go ahead and say it now. Otherwise, that's all I have. That's all I want to say. And if you're here, look out for yourself. Try not to, let anything happen to you. Yep. See you later, Jim. I don't know what's happening on Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. I have to go somewhere in the morning. And there's a guy that I know. I got to do a video for him. But we can talk before then. So, yeah. Anything else? It doesn't look like there is. So I will bid you all adieu and say, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok, in Bangkok, where we were hit with an earthquake today, among thousands of others in Thailand. So, and I don't know when else I'm going to stream. I don't really know. I wasn't planning on doing a video today. I wasn't planning on streaming today. So I don't know when, but whenever it happens, it happens. That's all I can say right now. So, um, again, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerken mai, which is good luck. Chok di jerken mai, which is see you again. So I'll see you when I see you, and take care. Be safe, and thanks for joining me. Talk to you later.